So it's at this time I would ask the students, why is she upset? And the students, they share their responses, and most of them are saying, well, she's upset because it wasn't strangers who weren't doing anything. These were the people that she and her family broke bread with. These are the people that she played with. These are the individuals that went to her father's store, who peeked out the windows and never said or did anything. So then I asked the students a question, why? Why did her friends not do anything? And I allow the students to share their answers, and they get things like, well, maybe people were scared. They were scared for harm to them or their family. Some of the students say, well, they would have been ostracized by others possibly. And there's a whole litany of other answers. So then I asked them, what about the bigger picture? Not her friends, but other people. Why would other people not do anything? And they come up with more answers. There might have been some opportunists who saw this as an opportunity of not having as much competition in the town when it came to the business. Or there are people there who agreed with what was happening. So then I asked the students, was there anybody who did help? And of course the students, Mr. Schindler, and they might recognize some other name, or say some other names. And then I say, okay, that's good. And then I share with them the title. So I do this a little different. I show the title of the presentation after it already starts, because I want them to think about this. I tell them, this is the title of the presentation. What do you think it means? In darkness, there is light. Now, I'm hoping I've already given you some pretext to this. So they come up with some ideas, and some of them get it they're close to it, but not exactly there. And I then tell them also that throughout the presentation, they're going to see quotes. And we're not going to talk about the quotes, but I want them to read the quotes and just think about the quotes. And you'll see some of these quotes. And also, again, it's created for you, because I'm going to give you probably already know the answer why it's in darkness there's light. The construction is very, I did it on purpose. Black background, very stark. So that's the darkness, and the light is the people who are talking. The people who we're about to listen to, the rescuers. They bring the light in the darkest of times. They help the people who are being repressed. So let's look at our first quote. And I hope you're familiar with Khalil Gibran. He's a Lebanese-American Nobel laureate for poetry. And so we're introduced to our first, we'll call it rescuer. And again, we have a little bit of information for her to give a little bit of background. I have a few pictures of her. And now we listen to her. But before we do, see if you can figure out or listen to why she did what she did.
What decided you to help the Jewish people?
Well, we were in need of help. I mean, it's like when you see a child fall in the water, you jump in and get it out. I wouldn't, because I can't swim, but there are other decent people who do it. And that's the same thing. We had Jewish friends, and we heard about all the laws that came out to the Jewish, so we said we'll help them. So it started out with the child. The Jewish people in our village, or in the villages, were forced to come to a Jewish part in Amsterdam. And when those friends of ours, who were very famous musicians, when they were ordered to go to Amsterdam, they had a little boy. And they were extremely worried to take that child there, because they didn't know what was going to happen. So we said, well, give him to us. And we took him.
Do you remember their names?
Yes.
What were their names?
Nap, N-A-P, that was his first name. De, D-E, Klein, K-L-Y-N. And he was a very famous violinist.
And his wife was also a musician?
Yeah, she was a pianist, and her name was Alice. A-L-A-S-E. C-E.
And the child's name?
Mark.
And they stayed with, they left the child with you?
They left the child, and they also were in hiding, and when there was a difficulty or a danger, then they came to us. But we lived in the same village where they lived, and so it was too dangerous to have them with us. For them, because people who would come to us might recognize them. So they were not hidden. Once in a while, for a week or so, when there was trouble, they would come to us. But in general, they were hidden in Amsterdam with other people.
How did people know you were hiding people, Jews?
Which people, you mean?
In like your friends, or who knew that you were hiding?
Well, people who came to our house, and we became very careful with who came to our house. But of course, they had a room upstairs, and so sometimes we had people who we didn't want to know that we had Jewish people in the house, but our friends all knew it, and they did this themselves the same as we did.
So she definitely alluded to the fact that there were other people in her village that did the same thing. So keeping in mind again why she did it, we're going to listen to another rescuer. Same question, why did she do what she did?
Your family has asked you why did you put yourself in danger to help others? And do you have any thoughts as to why you did it?
Yeah, we could understand what was happening. We just opened our house to hope everything will be alright. And we survived. We took chances, we know that.
I don't know why the color thing happened. So now we start making a list on the board next to a list that we made on why individuals weren't helping Mrs. Traub. So we make a list, and obviously we get some answers for this, such as people needed help. Simple as that. People needed help. That's why they helped them, or they could not stand what was happening. And then we look at a couple of more. Again, with the same question. You know why that happened? That's why I said he's important. Thank you. Same question. Why is the individual helping the Jews? At their own, I mean, this is dangerous stuff, as they said. As Mrs. Kodem said. This is dangerous for them and for their family members. First a quote. If you're not familiar with William Penn, founder of Pennsylvania.
Dr. Margenti?
Yes.
I'm just going to switch a little bit. Why did you decide to help Jews?
To help Jews?
Yes.
Because it was how can you not help them? This is a slaughter of human beings.
But what was it inside you that you were motivated to help Jews?
The indignity of it.
Could you say more about that?
Yes, I can say about that. So you persecute these people? That is criminal. They needed to be helped. You need to hide them and treat them. And nobody had to know that you were doing that, because it was at that time that the persecution against the Jews, especially in October, it became very well known in October 1943. There was at that time in Rome, they were persecuting them before, but not with the decision of coming and picking them up and transporting them with the animal wagons there on the train to Buchenwald.
Did anybody know in your family that you were helping Jews?
No, Mom, I never told to my mother. My mother knew that I was against the fascists, but she had not the faintest idea that nobody knew anything. You did not talk about it, because not only was my life at risk, I put at risk the ladies, the 92 ladies and children that they were already there, hiding in Palazzo, in l'Istituzione Teresiana, in Palazzo Mittera. There were 52 bedrooms there for the university students. And then Maria Luisa Gonzalez, the directora, she just throw out. She did not accept any students any longer, only 6.